Hello and welcome, Reds, to Anfield Road TV. Yet again, it's another daily live stream. We're going to be speaking about plenty of news, football and related stories as well. I'm joined by Connor from the COP Council. Connor, how are we, lad?
I'm
Good
all
result.
good.
Good result yesterday, wasn't
It could have been better. That's not hiding the
it? Yeah.
fact that we struggled for 65 minutes, but not luck. Yeah, like at the end of the day, got the job done. Nice little break. Now that I think all of us are dreading a little bit because of course we come back and play Bournemouth away from home, but. Saying in our minds, it could be the worst position. Like we could not be in all four competitions fighting for everything still. But yeah, are you feeling all right after yesterday's game? Because I'm guessing you probably had a cardiac arrest when we were 1-0 up, 1-0 down. Sorry.
Oh, sorry, lads. I was listening to you on the other stream. I'm bearing in mind, Chas, I would be showing my camera, but my camera's gone kaput, which
It's
was
dead.
great. Yeah, I reacted that mental yesterday. I think I might have damaged my camera somehow. But it is what it is. Yeah, I was happy, mate. I'd agree with what you said there, mate. In terms of it could have been better, but that is very much a theme of Liverpool's game this season. We as I said in my post match yesterday, it's very much a case of Liverpool gone are the days where we had to play at a maximum to get 3 points or to progress in these deeper into competitions, whether that be the Champions League, FA Cup, League Cup as well last night. So it's one of them, lads. I think it's a winning habit that is going to hopefully bode well for us, really, mate. But um, obviously very important news and very sad news as well, really, for the football and family. Obviously news if you've missed it today. Obviously Sven-Göran Eriksson did announce that he has got cancer as well. Obviously a legend of football, especially in Italian football and all round world football and Sweden as well. Obviously England manager as well, Connor. What are your, obviously me and you are quite young in terms of, I think we remember that great England side. He's still with us, but he did say he might potentially have at least a year to go, but hopefully he can celebrate the time in which he has got with the people most important around him, and we can celebrate what he has been a very important figure in football. But obviously, cast our minds back, I think, just as football fans, to that great England side in which he did manage. It didn't quite work out. Another parallel universe, England go on to win that competition. But what's your memories of Sven-Göran Eriksson as a football manager?
Yeah, no, I think that like as you said, I think he's not before our time, but of course, us, being the age that we are, we were, growing up slowly, and that England team, when you looked at it, even now to this day, you think like, how didn't they win, a competition or Euros or a World Cup? And I think he is one of those managers that will be remembered forever because of those moments. I think that obviously it's first of all it's obviously bad news and obviously sad news as well. I was shocked when I heard about it this morning, but it's also he's going to go down as a legend for just football terms in itself. And
Yeah,
just I think the overall feeling with his time certainly in England was a bit underwhelming. Like it could have been better, it could have been
yeah,
so much better, but what he did do and what I think everyone could talk speaks about like the golden generation of English football. I think probably at the time he probably did do the best at what he could do, considering the way the way football was. Of course, him trying to get in Gerrard, Scholes, Lampard, and David Beckham in the same team. Of course, I know people going about like, oh, you can drop any of those, but I feel like football managers, and certainly the England job around that time, it was
the
such
poison
a
chalice anyway. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like the
yeah,
England job to begin with is challenging as it is, but the fact that he had all of those as well just piled on the pressure. But it is sad news. And of course, obviously, I think he will be remembered as a football legend in this country and in other countries as well. And yeah, it's just sad news. A bad way to start 2024, I would say for sure.
yeah, and just goes to show. football's not really important with obviously things like that. So obviously thought to go to Sven and obviously his family. There's difficult moments as well. Not good to see. And obviously Franz Beckenbauer did sadly pass away as well this weekend. So we obviously thought to go to Beckenbauer's family and obviously whole of German football. If you haven't seen the interview that Klopp done on obviously Liverpool social media this week, it's very telling. Had a very close working relationship with Beckenbauer in terms of obviously I think when they met up in 2006 for the World Cup at that period, he said he learned a lot. Jurgen, so obviously one of them. But big up there, chat. Obviously, we will go moving into the next story now in a little second, but we'll get to everyone's comments. And apologies for anyone that's tuning in. And obviously, just literally as we're about to go up live, my camera did decide to kaput. So hopefully that will be sorted for the next episode. But yeah, Connor's got the reins on tonight's show.
It's my show, chat.
Yeah.
It's no longer Jack's anymore.
Oh no. But chat, make sure you do get your comments in. Let us know your thoughts and obviously all tonight's stories. If there is any Newcastle fans as well watching this on the repeat, obviously it'll be interesting in terms of what did come out today, and we're gonna go straight into that. But big up there, Tom, big up there, Doug as well. Massive thank you for all the continued support as well. And yeah, sad news there, Sven, about Sven. But going into the Newcastle news, Connor, obviously we had Newcastle reports coming out today about potential FFP more points deduction for, was it Newcastle, Wolves and Everton?
Yeah.
So this could get really tricky in all honesty in terms of when you look at Newcastle, obviously as their social. I would play the video, but obviously due to copyright can't really show it anyway. But definitely check it out because it was very interesting viewing to say the least. And when you listen to obviously Dan and the Eagles after financial results for the 2023 financial year were announced from Newcastle United, in all honesty, Con. And this is where I will speak in a little second as well, but it come out today in terms of current Premier League rules limit a loss of 105 million over 3 years. But Newcastle have recorded losses of 150 million over the past 2 years, including 73.4 million in the financial year to July 2023 as well. So it's one of them, Con. You'd anticipate the hammer to fall, considering the stark and the eagerness, which is rightly so. The rules are there in place to prevent teams from overspending, and especially when you are having teams that are following the rules correctly. I think it's only right. If that's 1 million over, that's still breaking the rules for me, mate.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I think when we look, if I was a Newcastle supporter, I'd very much be concerned. As we said there, Bruno. Well, we'll get onto that in a minute about a certain Newcastle player. But if I was Newcastle, I'd be a bit worried because, again, they've lost £73 million, over the last financial year. Of course, it doesn't take into consideration Champions League football into that. But I'd be more intrigued in a year's time what their financial year looks like, because if they're around the same park, around losing 60-70 million pounds and having Champions League football in that's very, very worrying for Newcastle. And when you look at it, they've, again, of course, with the Saudis coming in, trying to, of course, change things and so on, as could even
Hello.
Jack hopefully do. But it's one of these situations where, for me, like, again, they will have to sell someone. We know this, or they will have to do something to try and balance the books out. It's then the question of, can they then put that back into the team? If not, then that's a worrying sign. And if they do, is it going to be split up where it's good, as Jack's camera's gone again? But it'll be worrying for me if it is split up. Let's say if they lost to Bruno Gomes for £100 million, I think its release clauses, and then it was split up. Right, there's 20 million for the transfer fund, and the rest goes to our back pocket at the minute to try and balance the books out. And I think that's a big worry for Newcastle, especially if Champions League money isn't a thing. And it's more importantly, European football
Yeah, they
money, I think.
won't. Yeah, that's massive, mate, in all honesty. I think one of the staggering things as well, chat, that was being to Connor before we come on air, obviously with this interview that Darren did give, the Newcastle CEO, was stating that obviously with the new sponsorship coming in the next couple of years with Adidas, it was the fact that as a football club, obviously under the guidance of Mike Ashley, or the lack of guidance, really, anyway, the lack of guidance really from Mike Ashley and how much money he took out from the football club, in all honesty, was quite staggering, really, because Darren's did quote. He said that they don't have stores now as well, which by the sounds of it, Mike Ashley was taking so much money still out of the football club, even with the takeover now. So, bear with me 1 second there, Con. But just let me know your thoughts on that, Connor, in terms of any players that you would anticipate Newcastle to lose.
To be fair, I was just
gonna quick. Apologies there, chat. People, don't when you Connor, you'll know this. And chat, don't want people ringing you when you're on air, and it really does me head in. But Connor, Sven Botman, potential name. I've brought this fella up because I think he's going to be a very important player. The age of 23 years old. For me, he ticks all the boxes really for a Liverpool centre half. And as you alluded to there, Con, if Newcastle, it's probably not just an if, but they will have to lose maybe one or if not two of their big players, not just to financially keep up the books, but to financially benefit the whole squad as well. Because you look at the lack of form from Kieran Trippier and certain other players, that team needs still a massive injection of cash.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree. And as you said, when you do look at the most, cashable players, I think Sven Botman's one for sure. Obviously, Bruno Guimaraes, like we spoke about, is another. Alexander Isak as well. Again, Arsenal currently looking for a striker. It would not surprise me if Arsenal went in for Isak or Isaac, whatever you want to pronounce his name. But I think the more concerning point I would be with is I wouldn't be surprised if an AC Milan went back in for Tonali or someone like that. Like, not to say, because again, we know the whole Tonali situation with the betting and so on. Of course, I think he'd be back, I think, right at the start of next season. Or I think in pre-season he'll be back. Who's to say that they won't try and get him back on a cheap bid? Say if they bought him back for £40 million, like that's an option there. But I think the big crucial thing is, we know the price tag of a Bruno Guimaraes, but what would they be willing to sell the likes of Isak or Botman, for example, to a City or a Liverpool in that way? Like Sven Botman, for me, I'd probably guess Newcastle ask 100 mil, probably, but is he worth it? I wouldn't say so.
No, I think it's going to be difficult, mate, in all honesty, in terms of when you do look at his value. Suppose he's valued in around 50 odd million. Obviously, the Dutch centre half, still only 23 years old. He's got a lot of experience, obviously winning the league title in the Eredivisie with Lille in his first season. So, and obviously, I've been really impressed with the way in which he has adapted to the Premier League. I think, especially, and I wanted to do a show on Botman as well in terms of if Newcastle are, so he screamed out for me, Colin Chat. When you think about it, left-sided centre halves, they're not rare in football, but when a left-footed centre half as good as Botman, the age profile as well does become potentially available on the market. I think Liverpool will be extremely stupid to turn the nose up on it, in all honesty, as well, mate. Because you think about, obviously, Joao Quincy, the great strides he's had in this team. But we'll get to a couple of, all the comments in the comment section below tonight on the YouTube live section, with Wig saying, "Well, we'll take Bruno if they need." We will take Bruno if they need to balance the books as well. Big up there, Gary, as well. Ayola and Connor. One isn't writing off Mbappe until he is a Real Madrid player. And that's what I said, Gary, on the title. It's going to be one of those you'll see people stumble across this video and go, "Oh bloody hell, they're on about it again." Bear in mind, I haven't done an Mbappe video in probably God knows how long. It's been a couple of months anyway since the transfer window has opened. So it's for me, it's going to be one of them. We'll get to Kylian Mbappe, but there's plenty to talk on. And he's live. Yeah, Wiggs, it was live. The camera it is. Well, hang on, can I change?
Working.
In a little second. No, it won't be that one.
Turns out it's just a setting that's gone wrong, chat.
No, it's not, certainly not. But Bruno, not for me, boys. Big up there, Charlie. Charlie's not a fan. I'm not 100% sold on Bruno. Like, in all honesty, Con. Would you think he'd work in a Liverpool midfield for you?
No. Like, I think if, like, I don't get me wrong, I think he's done really good for Newcastle and he's done really good in the Premier League. But I just think that the way the team is at the minute, I think for the price tag as well, Liverpool could get a lot better.
Yeah.
In that department. I think if you was to look at a Manchester United, I think they would 100% be looking at someone like Bruno Guimaraes to replace him. But for me, again, this season he hasn't really hit the heights of what he did last season. Like last season, he ran that midfield for Newcastle. This season, I don't watch Newcastle week in, week out, but what I have seen of them against Liverpool, and the odd one or two games, he hasn't really stood out so much like he did last season. But yeah, as Charlie said, he's no Paqueta. I think a lot of people would like Paqueta, to be awfully honest with you. City wanted him, of course, in the summer and didn't go for him in the end. But I don't know. I think could you see? Yeah, like I said about Isaac, could you see Arsenal going for Isaac? I know they wanted him 2 years ago before he went to Newcastle.
Yeah,
But
it's a good point, that really. That's like, because everyone, and he will be getting done by the looks of it as well, chat. You might listen to certain Newcastle fans, but as I said before, with the hammer getting put on Everton, even for being over 20 odd million, the rules are there to be abided by, and certainly it's going to be an interesting, and everyone keeps going, "Oh, Man City," but that's going to take a long time, especially if we don't want to be getting City to be getting rushed, and then turns out they're only getting done for 12 months, when it should be a long 5-10 year lasting punishment, really, that will financially hit them. It's sad for the fans as well, the proper fans that have been there for a very long time. But it is what it is. The rules are there to be abided by. Big up there, the Anfield Lark. Think we should go for Osimhen if he's available. And sorry to say, but we should cash in on Núñez if we can get 50+ million. Interesting there, mate. Obviously, I know you go all the games, majority of them, mate. It's for me, in terms of Darwin Núñez, you know me, Con. He's doing absolutely amazing, apart from doing the most important thing and the reason why we brought him into the football club, and that was to score goals. But I'll caveat that with, and I love Núñez, and I'm going to continue to give him another probably 2-3 years. He's still a young lad, but the main thing, Connor, is he's got 18 goal contributions so far this season, which is absolutely staggering. I think obviously if Núñez wasn't creating all these chances and helping his other teammates, yes, we'd like him to score all the goals. But I think when you look at big chances missed in the Premier League, Erling Haaland's second behind him, I think on 17, and Núñez is on 18. So he's in good company, not in the best of company in terms of that, but just goes to show it's not just all the top strikers. Every top striker misses a large percentage of their chances. Just firstly, in terms of what the Anfield Lark said there, in terms of Darwin Núñez, and just it's difficult in it, Con, when obviously we'll all back Núñez and support him, we love him to bits, but and I don't think I've got no issues really with Darwin. I think he's developing really well. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I think a little bit. Well, I disagree with the comment a little bit, because for me, Darwin. Look, we all do get a bit frustrated when he's, 1-on-1 and, the goal's not getting finished off and so on. But what he's doing in the Liverpool shirt is world class in terms of movement, in terms of positioning. Everything that he does going forwards is actually really, really good. I think that I do think Osimhen would struggle in the Premier League. I've said this to you, like off shows and that. I feel like Osimhen would struggle in the Premier League. And look, for Napoli, he looks amazing, and he does in that Napoli team last season and this season. Not too much because, of course, he's been injured, but I just think that he would struggle in the Premier League. I think I think Chelsea fans were looking at Osimhen and comparing him to Nicholas Jackson. And Nicholas Jackson actually has better stats in, and I think when you average them out, Nicholas Jackson stats wise is a lot better than Osimhen, which is mad to say considering the two players. But I think that what Darwin is providing, because again, it's like Jurgen said after the game yesterday, he cannot explain what's currently going on with Darwin Núñez.
That Leno save as well, like he's doing everything apart from just put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, no, exactly. And then that's the thing. Like, and 1 minute it'll just click. And that's the annoying part about it. It might be towards the back end of this season. It might be the start of next season. Darwin will just go on a massive scoring run because he gets that many chances and he creates so many chances as well. I think for Liverpool, what we should be doing is looking at right wing as a right winger, an out and out right winger for Mo Salah cover, because I think as you saw yesterday, Harvey Elliott struggled massively on that side.
And we've done countless videos on that, Con, as well. In terms of what we don't say, in terms of just impact game, or do you think he's just
I think it's just like he's been built for the last couple of seasons to be a midfielder. And I think Harvey isn't. He's not the quickest. He's not. He's not the biggest. That we know that for a fact. I think what his numbers are providing, certainly in a midfield position, it's hard to not, see him in the midfield. Because I think if you compare his stats towards, somebody like Dominic Szoboszlai this season, he's proved really good numbers. And I just think, like we saw when Gakpo and Darwin come on, the difference it made, because Lucho was playing on the right, Darwin was playing through the middle with Jota, and obviously Gakpo was changing.
We went all gun-0 in that game, lads. It was absolute madness. Chat, if you haven't seen me post-match, go and check it out, because I know YouTube didn't push it out. Nice one, YouTube. Well done. Which is absolutely
typical.
But it is what it is. Doesn't really matter. Thank you for everyone that did watch it. But it's ridiculous in all honesty, because that game was so open. It was like a basketball game. Fulham were up one end, we were up the other. It was like, oh my God, there was so much space. But it's one of them. It's going to be the debate that happens every single week, chat. And the Núñez debate will amplify, as it always does since this season. When Liverpool drop points, it'll be that narrative will then go. There's always going to have to be someone, sadly, in social media world we live in terms of there's always done it. It was Ginny, it was Jones for like a long period.
Gravenberch the last 12 hours is just like people have just gone at Gravenberch, and I'm like,
oh yes,
he didn't have a great game last night. But
Gravenberch was playing right wing for certain spells in that game. Like, what do people expect? Because as you said, Con, with Elliott, as we know, switched in midfield. He was playing the Gravenberch role, which I don't think people actually watch football in certain games as well, lad. Because I was watching. Like, Gravenberch was playing right wing. Yes, is that his best position? No, but there was something tactically, and hence why he was taken off. So it is what it is.
You think about it though, as well. It's probably the bit like Gravenberch didn't play a lot of football around this time in neither Holland or Germany because of winter breaks. Like it's his first proper Christmas period or busy or festive period for Liverpool, and the fact that he's come out of it with I know he had an injury before, at the start of it, but come through it playing decent and to be not injured, I think is a massive positive for Liverpool. Like the fact that we've actually got midfielders this season that actually look hungry and actually are not injured is fantastic in that sense.
Yeah. Certainly. We'll go on to obviously the Mbappe one in a little second, chat. And then we're all jumping the gun really to get talking about. He's coming. Darwin is frustrating, but he offers so much more. This is from Wiggs from the left than what Diaz does, and that isn't his actual position. Speaks volumes. You're absolutely spot on there, Wiggs. I think the last couple of weeks, but it's we all back Nunes. But when we do drop points or win certain games, then that's when everything will hit the fan, to say the least. Anyway, but spot on there, Wiggs. Harvey plays great off the bench, and that's a great point there. Charlie's raised as well, chat in terms of Con. Like when you think about it, Nunes, as you alluded to, and Gakpo coming off the bench yesterday. There's going to be certain games as we're halfway through the Premier League season so far. It's that kind of in it. I think I've done countless shows with Kev and the lads this season, and you. It's going to be one of them where there will be games where Nunes might need to be put on through the bench. Look at that Newcastle game when he come off the bench and impacted it. So it's all about that good rotation. But we'll go straight into obviously the Kylian Mbappe thing. And for anyone who's tuning and has probably just clicked on the video and then clicked off it, do we think Mbappe will come to Liverpool? No. Where do we think he's going? Real Madrid. But if he's not going to Real Madrid, where's he going to, Connor and Chas?
I don't know what you're talking about. I thought he was going to go Accrington Stanley for next season.
So I've seen Arsenal fans shout that. I've literally seen Arsenal fans today shout that they can get Mbappe.
Like he's going from PSG to an elite European club. Arsenal ain't that. I'm sorry, Chief. Like again, where's their Champions League? Like that's all I'm hearing from Arsenal fans at the minute is bugger the league title, bugger the FA Cup, or we'll go and win the Champions League. Like there's more chance of lightning striking us twice.
For me, I'd agree. Like, when we look at Mbappe, for me, when I look at it, if Mbappe doesn't go to Real Madrid, and if they go and get Haaland, say, obviously Real Madrid, I look at that. If I was Mbappe, I'd be wanting to come to the Premier League because it would be potentially Mbappe versus Haaland for the next 10 years. Like, we looked at Real Madrid and Barcelona when you had those prime Galactico years and obviously that great Barcelona side under the Pep Guardiola and the lads. But for me, if I was Mbappe, if I had any aspiration of wanting to win the Ballon d'Or, if I can't go to Real Madrid, I'm going to Liverpool as my next destination. Maybe City if they didn't have Haaland, but if Haaland's still there, obviously I'd be wanting to compete with Haaland, not just on the pitch, but also off the pitch as well. Because we know, I was seeing a video yesterday and I was watching the run out the original R9 documentary, and he had a Ballon d'Or, the great legendary players, and the fact that Mbappe still hasn't got a Ballon d'Or. There's still plenty of time for that, Connor, but do you think that surely has to take into account the competition and giving him the every best opportunity to win a Ballon d'Or, lad?
I think that we said off camera, didn't we? I think his best choice to win a Ballon d'Or is to get out of Paris.
He needs
because, and again, people go, "Oh, well, Messi technically won it while being a PSG player." That is very true, but Messi won the World Cup. Mbappe did win the World Cup in 2018. And again, we might have been speaking things a lot differently if Mbappe had won that final. If he had gone, if he had scored the hat trick, they'd won on penalties, and Mbappe was a two-time world champion, we would probably saying things a lot different now to this day. But you just look at history. You look at Real Madrid, Benzema, for example, Modric winning it. I don't think anyone would have said that Modric would have won a Ballon d'Or during the Messi and Ronaldo era.
He can win Ballon d'Ors at Liverpool as well. We've had the players.
Michael Owen.
And obviously a couple
Virgil van Dijk.
Nearly
got. I say Virgil van Dijk winning it, but Van Dijk
nearly.
Close.
Well, he got the second most points of anyone in the competition. To not like any other year, he would have won the competition, but he had a certain man in front of him anyway. But it's going to be one of them chats, and obviously in the 70s and 80s, Liverpool had Ballon d'Or winners. So it's going to be one of them chats. We'd love him. We'd all love him. I think that when we've had this debate, Would he struggle against a low block side? No, mainly due to the fact of how good he is in those tight spaces with the ball at his feet. He would be amazing. And especially if Liverpool were to bring in Mbappe with the idea of potentially losing Salah in, say, 2-3 years' time, that's your Salah replacement there and then.
Everything's going to be lying down to Mo Salah and what he does. I think Liverpool wants, between now and the summer, Liverpool will want clarification on what Mo Salah wants. Does he want to stay and sign a new contract? Because I think now, between now and the summer, Liverpool want Mo to sign a new contract, and that will be an indication of what's next. Because we know FSG are FSG, but I feel like they've always had this notion, especially under Jurgen Klopp, of having at least one marquee player. Now, the marquee player at the minute is Mo Salah, quite obviously. And even though we've got world-class players in terms of Trent, Ali, Virgil, Mo Salah is that world superstar at Liverpool Football Club. And if he was to go, there isn't anyone at the minute that can take that mantle. I think Virgil van Dijk and obviously Ali's there. But in terms of
in
world,
an attacking sense,
like global star, and like in NBA, like your franchise player, then who better to have than Kylian Mbappe, the guy who's won a World Cup, France's #1 player. It would make total sense for why FSG would want to do it, but it'd have to be structured in such a way, like with the Mo Salah deal, like we told 350. But that article piece that came out about Mo's contract, he's earning around $1 million a week. That's something similar to what Mbappe would be looking at.
Mbappe wants to win Champions League, wants to win Ballon d'Ors. And surely at the end of this now, at the end of his deal, if he's not to sign for PSG, he wants to win the big competitions. I'm just mad. Kylian Mbappe was 18. It only seems like yesterday for Monaco. Time has flown by since those times at Monaco, and obviously with the great work he's done. Last year was amazing. Obviously, last December in Qatar, like he should have won that. In all honesty, for France, but wasn't to be. The fact that he scored 3 penalties in a World Cup final and still didn't win the game, that is mad to me. Anyway, Grab just needs to relax on the ball. Too sloppy at the min. It probably doesn't help Charlie, as Connor alluded to, the chopping and changing of certain midfielders in the squad. Obviously, Szoboszlai out due to injury as well. McAllister not a 6. I think if you put a 6 behind Gravenberch or a Szoboszlai or whoever that combination is, either side of either Endo or another 6, then you will see the best out of McAllister as well. And that's what's very exciting as well to come into the back end of this season. Once we get all of our players back, we will be absolutely bloody flying as well. Charlie Mbappe has been given too much too soon. Spoiled brass attitude. Modern day footballers, Charlie, as you've said. Great player though. Danfield Lark, don't get me wrong, I want Nunes to concede, but the misses are not clinical and are not the clinical scorer. We're aiming with a number 9 as well. 100%, mate. We all agree with it there. It's one of them. Liverpool being extremely lucky, as we all know, to have legendary strikers, Connor. I'm hoping, I think we're all hoping, maybe down about 2, 3, 4 years down the line, we hopefully have a little Ian Rush, a young Ian Rush coming through the ranks, someone that is potentially, could you imagine a scout striker as well, especially if he's banging 30 goals a season for Liverpool as well. It's bad enough Trent shushing half of the most away ends in England as well, or just doing that.
Don't trigger off the rival fan base, Jesus Christ.
It's too easy. It's too easy. Too easy, though.
But it is that though, isn't it? Like we haven't had like a striker come through the academy for a while. Like I'm trying to think, like Fowler, Owen, like around that era.
Neil Mellor. Whoa. Yeah, it's been that long, lad. In all honesty, chat, we're probably missing one glaring obvious one, but
Pen Woodburn.
Oh, Jesus. So if that was the case, then we could save certainly millions, and we wouldn't have to sign Mbappe anyway. It's positive Klopp knows that Salah wants knows what Salah wants. It just doesn't need to be disclosed to everyone. 100% there, Ollie. You're absolutely spot on there, lads. It's the thing, especially obviously me and Con. We do YouTube and do socials as well, and pretty sure when you all speak to your mates in the pub or whatnot, it's going to be one of them. You'd like to hopefully it's already been wrapped up. Similar with the Trent deal, the Allison, Virgil van Dijk as well, Klopp's new deal, stuff like this. They say in the presses to be professional, but you'd like to hope that Liverpool have learned, especially over the last 5 years when we haven't done deals properly and we've let contracts run down. Like, yeah, even though last year was a disaster, Connor, we know there wasn't a lot of value in certain players that did leave the football club. But when you speak about financial mismanagement at the highest proportion, the fact that we lost some of those players on free transfers was an absolute disaster.
Yeah, no, we messed up on a few. Like, look at Bobby, for example. I think that's the biggest one.
Probably got about 5 to 10 million easy if someone really.
I think it's. And even when you look at the midfield, like, now Jordan Henderson, obviously Liverpool look like they're going to get massive, massive reward from the Jordan Henderson situation. Obviously, if you guys are up to date with that, you know what I'm talking about. But the Naby Keita situation, like when you look at the Naby stuff, like Naby's our 4th highest transfer of all time, I think, like in terms of us paying for it. Never worth it. Now, like I love Naby Keita. You guys, if you're a long time viewers, knew or know that I love Naby Keita. When he first joined the club last year was a massive eye opener for him, definitely refusing to play for the football club. I think that a lot of things that have come out in Germany as well about his attitude, it just goes to show how much of a big person Jurgen Klopp is. Because again, if Klopp is managing that, we did.
That's who else has kicked off recently?
Sadio Mane.
Yeah, Sadio Mane. Like apparently with the management in terms of him wanting more game time or not being happy with like the transfers and that. But that just goes to show, Con, how much of a good manager Klopp is. Because obviously, for how good Liverpool have been in recent years, there's certainly to be that good, you need big characters. And it probably will go to show, obviously, what happened last year. We all knew there was emergency meetings, which seemed like every bloody week at Liverpool, which was needed because the fact that we just kept on going to weak games and we were losing games of football.
I think that, I think that you're choking to death. I think this time last year, it was awful. Like we wasn't we? We was going week in, week out, going, "Are we expecting another loss by her?" Like, because it was that bad. Like, like I remember Brighton last year, that felt so bad. But watching back Klopp's press conferences after the games, and like you had like journals going, "Do you think you can turn this around?" And like for me, like his whole like persona of going, "Yeah, I do think I can turn this around." Look, it's a blip at the minute. Liverpool we're not Liverpool at the minute. And the fact that he's come back and we're now top of the league, fighting for a League Cup, FA Cup, in Europe still, it just goes to show that, please doubt Liverpool, please doubt Jurgen Klopp, because we'll just prove you wrong time and time again.
Yeah, 100% there, mate. Big up there, chat. Keep on getting your comments in. Obviously, get to... But yeah, as Charlie said there, all these lads just want the dough. Football is ruined by the dollar sign. Sadly, mate, it's gone of the days you can get into a ground of football for 20 pence. Bloody hell. Those were the lucky days anyway. Obviously, they didn't have quite the good pictures back then anyway. I'm positive Klopp knows what Salah wants. Oh, sorry there, Ollie. I was going to read out again. Why exactly do Real Madrid, it's from Wiggs, Real Madrid even need Mbappe? They have Vinicius Junior on the left. Yeah, he can be a 9, but the best position is coming off the left. Real need a proper 9 like Benzema was. And I know Ricky's a big fan. Yeah, I was going to say, Hendrick, the Brazilian lad. I know a lot of you do fancy a Brazilian football.
Footy manager.
Yeah, is he? I suppose he's a football manager.
He is on R9 on FM. Like
regenerated, is he?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so I think they've bought him for big money as well. I think he's already been presented as a Real Madrid player, Hendrick. So it's going to be one of them chats because. But whoever gets Mbappe, certainly, hopefully, as long as it's not Man United or someone in the Premier League, and especially if it's not Man City, them were sound.
I'm
But
good. I'll say this now: if the Saudis had took over at United, he would have been a Manchester United player.
yeah, easily,
without a doubt.
100%. Yeah, 100%. Mate. Obviously, I'm like to say in the last proper 9 we had was probably Torres. Yeah, those were the days, lads, weren't they? Those were the days. Oh, sorry, I wasn't listening. Yeah, you Franks. I was. Don't worry, lad. Don't apologize. All good. Uncle Jack. Yes, yeah, happy days. All right, level. How Mbappe treated Madrid last time out? Do you think they are the type of club to go back groveling to him? If that's the case, Mbappe knows he can take the piss at the club as well. Yeah, it's going to be one of them. We know Perez level. We all know, and on that, Perez is probably one of the most arrogant, but he's one of the most clever people in world football. He's a massive businessman. Obviously, he'd like Mbappe, but I think depends how much that relationship has been hurt. In all honesty,
I think it's got rebuilt since. I think Mbappe told PSG, didn't he? Oh no, sorry, told Real Madrid that he was 100% going to sign for them, and then changed his mind when all of a sudden he's the sporting director. Was it a PSG? He was at the end. But yeah, no, and like you said, Florentino Perez is he is Palpatine in football.
Well, the Al Capone of football, really, the way in which he does his deals as well. Like, it is mad.
It's mad the fact that as well, like the Super League's still a thing. Like, and we won't talk about that because again, that could be its own video. To be fair, but the European Super League is only alive because of Florentino Perez. Like, and that's the fact that UEFA have no moral to go and quash that. I was
going to say, like UEFA got not a leg to stand on, really.
No backbone. They have no backbone.
They honestly, but the thing is, legally they can't. And I think it's Premier League teams or something, whatever. But the thing is, as we know, chap, the Premier League is the league to be in. We know there's so much money awash within the Premier League when it's spent well, but it's not our fault. La Liga bottled it when they had that great legendary Real Madrid, and everyone just watched La Liga back in the day for the big stars in Real Madrid, and no one watched it for any Elche fans out there, but no one gives a toss about Elche. If Messi was playing Elche, you knew he was going to get bang about 6 goals. But it's going to be one of them, mate. In all honesty.
Look at the way football's changed, like ever since the 80s and 90s, like 80s and 90s and like early 2000s was run by Italian football. Like, look, like you had every top player go into Italy, and then it was La Liga because of Barcelona, Real Madrid. You'd even have some going to Atletico Madrid or Villarreal or any of those, and then the Premier League. The Premier League for the last 10, 15 years has been running the show, and La Liga and look at Serie A now. I wouldn't even say Serie A's.
Who would you say the next league is then post? Say if the Premier League was to go backwards, say in the next 20 years, what league would stand out for you? Chat, let us know if there was a league to, as Con said, with the Italian league in the early 2000s. Like, leagues do go up and down, but who would you anticipate to be the next league?
Bundesliga, like the way it's going, like looking at this season, it's exciting and the way it is, but I'm not too sure, because it could easily be La Liga again, but I feel like it got the level of the La Liga got massively put up because of Messi and Ronaldo.
Yeah,
and that fight for 10, 15 years.
Both of those teams were a joke, though, Loss and Chat. Like that Real Madrid and Barca teams were unprecedented in we've ever seen. You had Busquets, Xavi, and Iniesta in one midfield.
Well, you had the front ridiculous. Threes. You had the front three of what was it? Bale. Well, no, you had Bale, Benzema, and Ronaldo, and on the other side you had Neymar, Suarez, and Messi. Like, it's unbelievable.
That was peak, and so hopefully Liverpool, if we get Mbappe, you'd have Haaland on one pitch, one half, and then Mbappe with Nunes and Salah either wing. Wow, could you imagine that? Now we win everything. I tell you now, I'd love it if we beat them. But we'll get to everyone's comments as well, and we're going to the next little story as well. In terms of Virgil van Dijk, because some of the absolute codswallop that I've seen. Tosh, disgraceful stuff that I've seen on socials. Saying that Virgil van Dijk's overrated. And I'm not even going to mention the very, very well public and very successful radio station that did mention him on this channel. But yeah, it's all about the clicks for them, innit? But get to everyone's comments as well. Make sure. What do you reckon? That was it. Yeah, that was literally what I was going to be saying. Level. But what an absolute sausage he is.
Cool, I think is the best word.
Well, yeah, I don't like swearing on my video chat because you never know who's watching. Especially monetization goes out the window. Little sausage he is. You can. I know I look like a sausage, but he's certainly a big sausage. Madrid are founded by the Spanish government, but still want the Super League. They are greedy clubs. They are, mate. They are greedy. Anyone? Big up there, Ollie. Should have hijacked the Spurs for Dragosin. They've completely butchered that. Wait, he looks great. He's also like to see us get Paulinia. We're going to be speaking about Tottenham in a little second, the back end of the show to conclude. Because we're going to speak about just Premier League or deals in general. How we as football fans in England view players. But when you move abroad, you do quite well, in all honesty. There'd be an interesting little sign for the Spurs, Dan, isn't it, mate? Obviously, I think he's from Genoa. Obviously, he's based onto the scene. I think he's Serbian, is he? And the big lads at the back. Certainly, the more players Spurs get, very highly regards. I'm not going to sit and say I've seen any of them because he haven't. But he's been getting a lot of plaudits.
And the people will hate this, and probably people will clip this. I know he's got an inform on FIFA, and that's where it.
Oh yeah, there we go.
No, I'm kidding. I'm not basing it just off that. But no, like it's a good. It is a good deal, I think, for Spurs. I think they've paid 30 million.
He turned down Bayern Munich as well, which is
I was about to say that because I don't get why Bayern Munich were going in for him, because that's all. I think even Bayern Munich fans were saying when everyone's back, he's going to be fourth choice centre half. So why is he? Why are Bayern going for him?
Unless I was going to say Matthias de Ligt, but he's a Juve now, isn't he?
No, de Ligt's a Bayern.
Oh, he's a Bayern, yeah. I'm getting bloody confused. That's another name that you could put into the mix with Liverpool next 2-3 years, especially if they did. Well, they were after an active centre half. It's a great point you've raised there. So you never know, chat. There could be, as we know, Liverpool like to do the deals early on. There's there is Liverpool need to sign another centre half, a world class centre half, because if Ibu or Virgil, touch with everyone, or any of our centre backs get injured again, we haven't got like for like quality. Even Joe Gomez had put into that bracket as well. We know how important he's been for Liverpool this season. So you can never have enough good players, as we said last night. As there was, and stop it and discuss what is saying to continue, which it is allowed. It can be not play it. I think you're talking about obviously the discussion. Yeah. You can laugh, but obviously don't want to risk it anyway in terms of the video. But yeah, I've been doing YouTube for a very long time. Like I could certainly jump on these episodes most nights or do TikToks, and just chat absolute waffle.
Crap.
Even though most of the time we already do that anyway, but I mean massively cast out my fishing line and then start reeling in the comments and then make myself look like an absolute more of a sausage than you usually do. But that's just not my style, really. I enjoy jumping on with cons, speaking to yous, and respect everyone's views. We do respect on the channel, rightly so. That's how the world should be. And if I disagree with Connor or even future guests that come on, that's debate creates great content. It creates discussion. And creates good talking points, really. But
you should see us off stream chat. It's probably the most funniest thing. If we have a debate, it's the best. But that's the beauty of it. Like,
yeah, me, Connor, and Ricky have fierce debates. We'll probably get our channel shut down anyway. Like, I think 1 week I'll have to do that, like, because it would make some great
off censored content. Like if you guys would like a debate show with me, Jack, and Ricky,
I'll
then
put
let us
myself
know.
in the middle and I'll just let you and Ricky go on each other.
No. I'm the one sat in the middle, and then the two of you are going at it. Like,
Oh, Ricky, if you're watching, lads, probably sat in bed. But Ricky has become a Curtis Jones supporter now. Ricky, I told you like 3 years ago, lad, he was a very good footballer. But everyone now, for some reason, since Curtis Jones, he's not just started playing good after 12 weeks. He's been a phenomenal footballer. Surprise, surprise, footballers need time to develop. Who would have known? Who would have known?
oh, it's Luke anyway. It's not Ricky.
Oh, is it Luke? Hang on, is Luke? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Luke. His own cousin would agree with that one. Big up there, we go. Yeah. Saying that Ricky will probably appear in the stream yards. He's probably gonna walk in now.
No, it'll just be like a slow, like a hashtag FSG out.
Yeah, certainly. He definitely didn't say that when he was in the ground last night, did he? Wait, what? Like what's a Bundesliga has tried to market themselves a lot in English as well. And yeah, 100%, mate. I like watching the Bundesliga coverage. What do you chat and Con? I do like watching the Bundesliga. I think that we all know how good. I think it's as a fan experience. I've never been over there but I know a couple of lads that have been, and obviously watching the documentaries that are on there on YouTube and socials. The fan experience seems amazing. You can actually take your bevies into the stands. I just wish England took certain elements from Bundesliga football into our game.
One thing I do like though as well about the Bundesliga is the fact you've got rival fans mixed in with one another. Now in the UK, you could never do that at all. Like if you look at Dortmund, I think I was watching something and I was watching Dortmund's fan experience, and they were saying like it's mad how you can literally be stood in a group full of, let's say if it's Bayern Munich or versus Dortmund, you could be in the middle of a Bayern Munich fan group and be absolutely sound. And that's the mad thing where in the UK, if you're a Liverpool supporter in the middle of United fans, Jesus Christ, you're like, I wouldn't want to say what happens to that person. Let's put it that way.
Well, even now the fan experience, you've got Manchester United fans turning up with Man United flip flops for a Liverpool game.
No.
Like that. Could you imagine if some like Man United fan or like a Chelsea fan just wore it at like a Brighton Liverpool game? You'd be looking at them going like, and that's bad enough with the ticketing issues at the football club currently going on. Like that fiasco, that's another show for another night. But we all know the issues with that. Yeah. But it's mad. But it is what it is, lad. It is what it is. Rever Night, if we sign Mbappe, long day for our rivals, Jack. Yeah, me and Connor will certainly do a 70, 84-hour live stream. We just sit there with an Mbappe flag, just holding it up like that for a bar. We won't
Mbappe green screen.
Or is it release like a little Mbappe mixtape or something else? But yeah, you have your line, you got the game quite a bit, don't you? Yeah, he does, mate, certainly. Kunde has played 148 career games and was a squad player at best. Virgil van Dijk is better seasons before he played for us. And yeah, it's ridiculous, lad, isn't it? It's the social media world we live in, lads. Like, it's ridiculous. A lot of that, and kind of jealousy as well, Chas, comes down to jealousy. The fact that people watch, and some of the podcasts I've seen, like rival podcasts, like that to be said as well, just debating Liverpool, they're still not talking us up. That's how we like it, Connor. Let these rivals think that we're still going to finish fourth, and we'll be parading the Champions League next year when we're in the competition. But the Premier League, that's how we thrive the most. Let them continue talking. Well,
yeah. No, that's the thing. Like Liverpool don't want to be the favourites for anything. We don't. Like you look at the Europa League.
Oh yeah, Romanian. Sorry, Chas.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's Romanian. But you look at it, Europa League. Yeah, we've been favourites for the entirety of the season. But in terms of just Premier League, like Liverpool, we prefer chasing other teams. Like at the minute, we're top of the league by 2 points or whatever it is. If Liverpool can extend that and still be not favourites, I'd love it. Absolutely love it. But when we talk about rival fans and rival channels talking about Virgil van Dijk and others, let's talk about certain individual channels that seem to think that Mikel Arteta's had it a lot harder than Jurgen Klopp.
Oh yeah, this really done your head, chat. Speaking off
Done my.
we had our debates late at like 12 o'clock this week, and kind of it's this thing. Like Arsenal fans can't keep Liverpool out the mouths, can they? Like they just can't. Like it's like Liverpool's the barometer every single time. It's Saliba's better than Virgil van Dijk, Saliba's better than Canate, and all this. It's like stop comparing us with us. Compare Arsenal to that great, legendary, unbeatable team, the great Arsene Wenger teams. You just know what it is to win games of football, and that Arsenal team that he inherited was much better than that Liverpool team that he inherited as well. In all honesty,
I did genuinely like yeah. It's you even got Arsenal fans though going like parading around and like going like I think I seen something earlier on that was like like Arsenal players start like get into Real Madrid's best ever team of like modern era. I'm like, what? Like you've not even won a Premier League title. Like you're comparing yourself to City, you're comparing yourself to Liverpool. You can't. Like the only team that Arsenal can compare themselves to is Spurs. Spurs, when they lost the title against Leicester, that's the only team they can compare themselves to at the moment. Because they're not better than us. We've had a downfall. We've been terrible.
Their season to win that league title years ago when Leicester, like that was their free hit. Them and Tottenham. The fact that both of them didn't win the league, but that's not me taking away from Leicester. Fair play to them because they made that count as well. That's why it makes me laugh that when people go Villa this season, they'll fall off. Everyone was saying that. I know I say it.
Villa.
Everyone's saying exactly what he said with Leicester with Villa, and I'd love it. I'd love it if they got on top form, mate. But just rattle through a couple of these assists. They basically are assists as well, Chess.
We are assists.
Curtis Jones, 20 years old. His ceiling is 100 plus million. Watch this space. You know me, K-Mac. Well, I have debates with the lads off camera, and I've said for years that Curtis Jones' valuation is easy 70 odd million. Like, and people
at the time I disagreed with you quite a lot.
No, but I know ball, Connor.
No.
You know that, chat. I know ball as well, don't I?
No, chat. Don't act like this as well. McKendo has said some mad things in our group.
What? I've just said, what, about Braithwaite as well? I rate Braithwaite. Braithwaite is a 70, 80 million pound centre half in the current market. He is, Connor.
He's not.
Chat, will you agree with me? If Braithwaite continues his developments, he'd be an easy 70, 80 million pound player.
No.
Watch, hang on.
No.
Yeah.
So you're saying he's going to be more than Virgil van Dijk?
It'll be more. Point? Everton will sell Braithwaite for more than they sold Stones for.
No, they won't. Well, wait, how much did they sell Stones for? I can't remember.
Everton sold Stones for 50 odd million.
No, they won't sell him for more than that.
Here comes the debate here, chat. We're not even finish the agenda. Like chat, you decide. I'll leave that up to chat anyway. I'll do a little quick poll in a sec as well. Connor's laughing at the comments, but I will get to them eventually, chat. The only thing I would say with Jones, in my opinion, is from the 1892 Reds TV. He just needs to stay fit for longer periods, and he will be a super player as well. We're an injury away at centre back from a crisis. It would be daft for us to go and get, and especially with Matip out for the season, and he will be out of contract in the summer as well. Whatever happens to Brewster, he fell off, mate. He had that little video with him in the barber shop with his Champions League medal. We can't keep on sending that to Man City fans after he won it last year. That was the best thing anyway.
Arsenal fans now.
Yeah, Arsenal fans. He's still looking at his UEFA Champions League winners medal for doing F all as well. Fair play to the lads. Pretty much all over Champions League when he's always injured. I think like Brewster's now a check chat. Is Brewster like 26? He is, isn't he?
Something like that, yeah.
26, which is mad. Like he's older than Mbappe. Hang on, chat. Is Brewster older than Mbappe? I am done.
But I'm gonna check this now.
Like, cause that's mad in itself. Ryan Brewster has more chance. Yeah, 100%. Mbappe wages out 528 million per year. Can we just end the transfer rumors now? If K-Mar, is that true? Well, that isn't surely Mbappe's got enough money now, and he needs to move to a club to win, i.e., the Champions League. Because if he finishes his career with no Champions Leagues, that's been a disaster. We all get he's won 2 World Cups. That's probably, it does dwarf winning Champions Leagues. But as a player, he probably wants to win at least 1 or 2 Champions Leagues.
But by the way, how old do you think Brewster is?
25, 26?
He's 23. He's 2 years younger than Mbappe.
How is he? Oh, I thought I was living in like a parallel universe or something.
I had to double check that as well because I wasn't too sure. But he's 23, Brewster.
But even still, like, what did he come through our ranks at the age of 18, 19?
16, 17, around there.
He had so much hype around him as well, which is disappointing. Big up there, Phil. I would love Mbappe on the left and Mo on the right in an ideal world, but the real world that we live in, it ain't going to happen as well. That's the thing. If we did get Mbappe, I'd think we'd play Nunez off the left, Mbappe through the middle, and Salah on the right. Could you imagine that forward line? That wins you 5 consecutive Premier League titles and 5 consecutive Champions Leagues as well.
I got too excited about him, Jude Bellingham last season. I don't want to be
disappointed. We'll do it to ourselves. We'll do it. It's coming. I can't wait to get through these comments about the valuation. Evening, Jack and Connor. Hello, how are we doing, Henry? Hope you're well, mate. We could refund Mbappe's wages by giving a hefty signing on fee brings in as well. It's the thing. I think he turned down, by the looks of it, the agreement in which he had. I think I've read a couple of numerous articles this last week. He said he's undecided still on the transfer to Liverpool, but he's apparently turning down. He's given PSG the money back in terms of the loyalty bonus, which he was meant to be getting at the end of this month or this year just gone. And that's meant to be going back to PSG. And that's sort of a fee to Paris Saint-Germain, which is mad in itself anyway. 100% mad. Jürgen and Adam Bogdan, enough said. What? Yeah, Bogdan, one of Liverpool's greatest ever goalies. Just looks like Ron Weasley. In terms of my mate has filmed a lot of vids, goes to game every week. Every game, I get to sub. Oh, that's what he says. Grab a bit, big up there. Are they compared FC Jack? I don't know. Hang on, let me get to all these. How tables have turned. Everyone used to hate United and laughed at us. Hate us and laughed at United. Happy days. All our rival fans still, it's ridiculous. But like and we all know the respectful, like proper banter songs. But when fans of every football club take it the wrong way, that's when it's like, come on, boys, you go there to watch the like 22 lads kick a ball around on the pitch, have a good laugh with your mates. There's no need to like do all that like other stuff that is sadly marred football for a very long time, really. 85 to 90 points might be enough this season. That's a good thing as well, Con. In all honesty, we don't have to be playing at our maximum to probably potentially, especially if City are having an off season. They're allowed an off season because they've just went back to back Premier League winners. It was bound to happen eventually, but if they do drop off, Con, Liverpool need to be there.
Well, the average, loads of averages at the minute. Liverpool win the league by 2 points. And you look at the averages since Trent's moved into the inverted role. Liverpool, if things continue the way they are, and hopefully they do, Liverpool win the league with 88 points, and that's mad to consider. When you look back at our prime teams under Jurgen Klopp and the 18-19 and 19-20, the fact that we got 97 and 99 points in those seasons, again, it's outstanding what that team did, to be fair, but what City did as well at that time. But it could be, and I hope that, because the thing is with City though as well is the fact that they might slip up against an us or a Spurs or something like that, and they haven't looked unbeatable this year. I would say City, to be fair.
Yeah, 100% now. Big up there, Luke. Obviously, have a good way. Have a good day in work tomorrow, mate. And anyone that's obviously, we're just gonna do one or two more stories, and then we will conclude tonight's episodes. Mbappe. I think is like we never know truly how much modern day footballers do really earn. In all honesty, but it is one of it. It's a bad side for I think if all of us as football fans, regardless of who you support. It's the sad reality, but you just gotta deal with it really. But we know a lot of footballers do a lot for charities as well. A lot of the money does get invested into like infrastructure, sending money back home in terms of building hospitals and everything really. So, but the Anfield, like my mate says, Gravenberch is good, but difficult for him to develop as he doesn't make the starting lineup. Adds something to the midfield though as a player, strength in depth for the midfield now as well. The guy goes to every game as well. Big up there, lad. Big up. Yeah, it's gonna be one of them. Mbappe. Yeah, right. We'll go to big up there, Dave. How are we, lads? Salio, Dave. Hope you're well, matey. Quickly round off on this. Two quick stories, anyway. Chat. Virgil van Dijk. I know we got diverted by the bit Braithwaite. It just makes me laugh, lads. Are we putting this down to Cundy's jealousy of him not being that good of a centre half, lads?
Probably, but then to be fair, anyone who talks on that
channel
on that channel speaks a load of waffle. You can't say anything seriously, like genuinely. Like they'll do the odd one or two decent content thing, but the majority of it is just a pile of waffle. And just don't listen to it.
So yeah. Like good stats if you haven't seen the chat. We all know Big Virgil, and when he headers the ball, it doesn't move his head because he's got that hair strapped in, proper sounds. He probably smells very good, as Troy Deeney says a couple of years ago. Anyway, he's an absolute human specimen of a man, and he is the best centre half in the whole of Europe. Has been for a very long time. Unstoppable in the air. So Virgil van Dijk has an 82% win rate, duel rate in the Premier League this season, the most of any centre back. There you go, Virgil. Not just good on the ground, he's good in the air as well. But the final one, chat as well. Bit of a mad one. I know it's not Liverpool, but Tottenham have agreed to sell Eric Dyer. I know, chat, you were mentioning it before as well. Kind of bit of a mad one, this, in all honesty. Who would have thought?
Harry Kane's best mate gets to move to Bayern. Wait, what? No. It is a mad one, to be fair. And the fact that it's happened so quickly.
How old is Eric Dyer? Is he 30?
20.
Yeah, carry on. Like, do you think it'll be a good sign, Con? In chat, do you anticipate this to be a good sign for Tottenham? Yeah, that's true. Because
I think like it'd be a good sign for Bayern, like in terms of just squad options. I'm just quickly.
Yeah, 29. Yeah,
29.
He's turning 30 this week as well.
Oh, so there you go then.
And this probably got ties hand in hand with the centre back potentially. Do you anticipate them buying to play him as a centre half?
Probably in a back three at the minute, because they've been changing, haven't they? Like Upamecano was dropped at the start of the season by Tuchel, and all of a sudden, before I think the winter break, he had a proper run in the team for Bayern. So I never understood Thomas Tuchel tactically. Because a lot of people thought
I can laugh at that one because I've got dyslexia anyway. But
no, but like he, for me, Thomas Tuchel's a bit weird because 1 minute he'll play 3, then it's 4, and yes, like Eric Dyer fits perfectly to what he wants in terms of a 3 or 4 back. But if you just want people, just for cover, sure, like a £2 million signing for Dyer is pretty decent.
There is a parallel universe out there as well, chatting Con. Could you imagine if Liverpool did announce this signing? Like,
it'd be hell.
Oh, could you imagine social media, lad?
This is our centre back signing.
This, and as obviously K-Mac says there, that has just lost them more chances of the league and the Champions League. I swear, if we witness another Bayern Munich centre half falling on his arse in the Champions League knockout. That Upamecano game was an absolute joke last year, mate. Like Upamecano just seeing Haaland and Puda's kicks and went, yeah, lad, just just have an open goal, lad. Go on. Like,
no, the best one will be the fact that Kane and Dyer have gone from Tottenham to Bayern Munich after Bayern Munich have won 10 Bundesligas in a row
it's the
and not
Tottenham
won
case,
the
innit?
Bundesliga. Yeah,
It's the Tottenham case, lads.
that'd be so funny, especially because the fact that Kane looks like he's going to break records in terms of goal scoring as well. Like, realistically, Bayern should be doing, should be top of the league by miles. But fair play to Xabi Alonso and Leverkusen as well. They've been brilliant so far in the Bundesliga, and I hope they continue it as well and go on to win the Bundesliga.
Yeah, still unbeaten, which is absolutely mad as well, in all honesty, lads, isn't it? And I don't think German fans really, I don't think they really rated them that much, in all honesty. But due to, obviously, the amount of interviews I've seen in English as well, translations, they love him to bits, and rightly so, because Harry Kane is a phenomenal footballer, has been for a very long time. Him and Salah have carried the Premier League for large portions of the last 10 years, or last 7 to 8. Harry Kane's been playing for years anyway. But he would have thought, as a young lad breaking through, he would have got all those goals. But something at the back of my mind, could you imagine maybe Harry Kane actually come to Liverpool? Do you think he would have worked at Liverpool, Connor? Or Chad?
He would have worked. I think we had this debate in your house after the Champions League final when we knew Sadio Mane was going to leave Liverpool, and I think you was adamant that you wanted Harry Kane.
Yeah, I would have happily took Harry Kane at the club before he went to Bayern.
I'm not going to lie, chat. I was very much Darwin Núñez at that point. I love Darwin Núñez, but it would have worked. Like, look, he would have done everything that what Bobby was doing at the time, to be fair, and what Liverpool was requiring from the 9. But
would have been interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, I think what would be interesting to see is how far they do actually go in the Champions League, because I think them, City and Real Madrid, they are the favourites by a country mile to win it. And I'm wondering if they was to play an Arsenal, for example, in the, like, obviously they got Porto, I think Arsenal in the next round. But if they were to play a Bayern, how both teams would react. Because, supposedly, again, going back to Arsenal are this great, amazing team. And Bayern, I think, are still a little bit on the edge under Tuchel. But I think they would win because, again, obviously there's reports of Kimmich potentially going as well at the end of the season.
I'm surprised City don't go after Kimmich. I think if he's available, Kimmich on the market, I think Pep should go all out for him, considering he lost Gundogan in the summer as well. But City, so one of them.
Be interesting.
One of them chats. Probably another show for another debate anyway. Arsenal going out at Porto. You heard today first. I was saying this to Connor chat level and chat. I think they will, mate. Like Porto got that European experience. In all honesty, they've done quite well last year as well. In all honesty, need Merino back. But Connor, I know, and chat. It's been a very long show. Really do apologise about the start of the episode where it didn't have any face cam. People don't know watch on the repeat going, "Where's Jack?" But you can listen to this podcast. Yeah, it is on podcast form on Spotify as well. So if you just tuned in and you have missed, like, say, 20, 30 minutes of the episodes and you want to listen to it on your way to work or college or whatnot tomorrow, you can do. But Connor, please do shout out where everyone can find you, please, lads. And massive thank you for taking the time out tonight, miss.
Thank you for having us on. Thank you to everyone in the chat as well. The Cock Council over on YouTube, TikTok, all that good stuff as well. I'll be doing a video tomorrow at 9 o'clock. So, make sure
what would that be about? Do you know your schedule on that?
Well, to be fair, it is going to be a signings video. It's going to be defenders video for who Liverpool could look at defenders wise. That's going to be tomorrow. Few names, obviously, mostly Liga Portugal, which that should be fun. As you guys know, I do like a little bit of Liga Portugal, but still, I think that overall, we're going to miss Liverpool playing over the weekend. Obviously, good games, to be fair, but look, we all miss the Reds playing. And thank you for having us on as well, Jack. And
always a pleasure, lad. Always a pleasure, Lam. Massive thank you. So obviously, please do everyone. I won't be streaming at 9 tomorrow. I'll be doing the show at 8 tomorrow. In all honesty, we'll be doing African Cup of Nation watch-alongs as well. I'll get Connor on for them if he's available because it was quite.
We actually did. I think your most viewed video is us watching the AFCON final.
Yeah, it's very successful, and big up to everyone covering the AFCON. We will be covering the AFCON, which will be good as well. Surely.
That's my goal.
Yeah, right, Connor. Well, massive thank you, La. I'll let you go, and massive thank you for jumping on, La. Massive thank you for that, Connor. We do appreciate it, but we'll round off here in a little second here chat anyway. But as Bayern soon, yeah, it's Connor. I remember it was this Van Buiten, and who was it the other the back? Van Buiten and the great Bayern side when they won the Champions League in 2000. Well, was it no Inter beat that Bayern Munich side at the back anyway when Milito got that double in the Champions League final. But what is one of them? Big up there, Liverpool's 12th man. Don't apologise. Anyone, you don't have to apologise. As I know, you just have lives. But I just made up, you just appreciate you all tuning in, even if it's for 2 minutes as well, as long as you're all safe and well. We will be live tomorrow at 8 p.m. But please, as I've just put Connor's live link in for tomorrow, he will be live at 9. Please do definitely check out Connor and his socials as well. And bear with me 1 second. I'll put a K-Max channel link in as well. So you can make sure you can head over to K-Max channel. But yeah, K-Mac, put your channel link in the description there, lad, anyway. Because I'm not signed in on my usual YouTube, you see. Because I am subscribed to you yet. Where are you, lad? But K-Mac, put your channel link in the description anyway, lad. But if you are available this week, lad, I'll message you this week, mate. Get you on. But massive thank you, chat. Obviously, quickly recapping on all the stories that we have done tonight. Obviously, sad news come out about Sven Goran Eriksson. Obviously, thoughts go to Sven at this difficult moments. Obviously, with the news in which we did here today, and his family. Obviously, we spoke about the financial implications that Newcastle United have been hit with this today, in terms of obviously their potential points deduction. Obviously, the financial state. Their CEO Darren Eagles did say and speak about. Interesting reading, to say the least. They are they are in the minus at this moment in time. So you anticipate a possible points deduction for them if they do continue their development. But we spoke about, obviously, Sven Botman as well. Potentially, Newcastle might need to sell 1 or 2 of their key big signings or big players due to the financial FFP regulations, and, of course, just reinvesting that money in their broader scheme of things as well as a football club in terms of getting better quality in as well. So it is one of them. And we spoke about Mbappe. Do we think he's going to come to Liverpool? No, we all know he probably won't. Probably end up at Real Madrid. But we spoke about today, if he did, what that would do for Liverpool as well. We spoke about some absolute sausages as well. Speaking about Virgil, that stat just indicates one of his many great qualities Virgil does have in the air. And we just spoke about Tottenham and obviously Bayern Munich as well. But Reds, you're absolute legends. Really do appreciate you all dropping in. Massive thank you there. Wigs, obviously the mods on the channel. Make sure you do head over to obviously K-Max channel. Absolute legends. And hopefully you get K-Mac on this week as well. He is free. But and lads, look after yourself. Have a good day tomorrow if you're in work or college or uni or whatnot. When did you have stream? Not too sure, lad. Big up their level. Put your notifications on as well, lads. You never know with YouTube, because I did do my post-match reaction show yesterday, chat. If you're wondering where it was, I did do like a little pre-recording. But there will be a show tomorrow at 8 p.m. And there's plenty of shows to come up on the channel as well. But Reds, have a good day tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your night. Was on at UK time. Yeah, I'll be on tomorrow, mate. I'll drop you the link anyway. But if not, we can change that scheduling as well. But Reds, massive thank you for tuning in. Look after yourself. And yeah, happy days.